Hi dear friends, welcome. Myself Vinisham, Faculty of Computer Science Department, Jyoti Engineering College. So today we have the part 2 section of PHP, that is we'll be discussing primitives, operations and expressions. So in the previous section we have discussed what is the importance of PHP in web development. Okay, so in order to make a development with PHP, so we need a programming environment. So we have selected, there are different types of environments are available like SAM, WAM, LAM, but we have selected SAM because SAM is something like it is a cross platform. It's a cross platform programming environmental development. And now you know how to run a very simple program. Okay, now moving to the today's section. So we have primitives. So that means we need to discuss about which are different types of variable which are supported by PHP and which are the different types and which are different operations supported on these variables and how to write different types of expressions in PHP. So there is no type declarations for PHP variables because PHP is dynamically typed. So you can see that I have a very text code here. So here I am going to create a particular variable. Now I can use a variable $x. I am going to give the value as 10. Okay. So now I need to display the type of that particular variable. So in order to display the type of variable, I have a particular function that is known as var_dump. Okay. So what is the var_dump actually? The var_dump is simply dumping the information about an instruction. So I am going to execute this particular code. So what is this code? This code it include a variable and I am simply displaying the and simply dumping the informations variable information of that particular x. Okay, so let me see what is going to happen. So this is my code here. You can see that yeah, it will return int and 10. So what is means the first case that int represents the data type and 10 is actually this value. So now I am going to make another change here. You please note it. So now I am going to change the value of $x is equal to some 10 point yeah 1. So of course now the data type has been changed. So we need to check it. So we can use the same function, the var_dump. Okay. So initially x is an integer and now we have changed the data type into a double or a float. Okay, now let us execute this particular code. So what we are going to get? Okay, you can see that initially it is integer. Okay, but later we have converted into a float, that is a double. Okay, and the same process is applied for any type of variables. So that means in what is that? In HP or in PHP there is no type declarations because PHP is dynamically typed. So the type of variable is set every time when the value is assigned. So an unassigned variable sometimes called as unbound variable, it has a value null. That means whenever we have a statement like $x is equal to $x semicolon, it means that we are not assigning any value to this x, so we cannot specify or the system cannot specify what is the type. So at that time it automatically specifies the type as null. And of course there is a function isSet. This function is used to determine whether a variable currently has a value. So this function takes the variable name as parameter and returns a boolean value. So I can check, for example, listen, I have a particular code here. I'm again coming with this code. So now my code is again I have the variable x is here. So I am going to check the type. I am going to check the type of this particular. So I have a function isSet. Okay, what is the function? Yeah, this is isSet. So whether the particular variable is set or not. So that is actually what is going to happen. Okay, now this function we need to display. Actually, it returns a boolean value. So we need to display that content. Okay, what will be the output now? Okay, so you can see that the output is 1. That means it is true. So that means here the variable is tested. Variable is set. Okay, and if the variable now I have another function that function is used to make a variable null. So this is the function unset. Okay, so now I am going to change the variable that is $x. So what is actually going to happen? So now I am going to change this variable x into some null. Okay, now I can check the same case here. So after making it unset, what will be the output? So here we have the code. So you can see that initially it is 1, but the second value is not at displayed. There is only one display. So whenever it is 0, when the boolean is false, it is not going to display anything. So it is null value. Okay, so null value, nothing is displayed. So that is the case. Again I can change, once again I can change. Now you can understand what is going to happening. That means x is equal to something like, yeah, let it be 10.10. Okay, you can, yeah, you can 10.10. So now what is the situation? We are going to once again we are going to set this value. Okay, and now again we can use the same function, so it to check whether the particular variable is set or not. So what will be the output now? Yeah, yeah, you can see that there is one more one. Why this is true case? Because at that time we have set. So this is a situation how to set a particular variable or how to unset. Okay. So the unset function, it sets the variable to a null value. So for example, whenever we are using the function like unset $a, it sets the value of $s as null. So that is the situation. Okay, now PHP is supported by different types of data types. So here we will be discussing different data types. So basically we can categorize this data type into three: scalar type, compound type, and special type. So under the scalar type we have four cases comes: boolean, integer, double, and string. And again under the compound type we have array and object, and under the special types we have resource and null. So starting with the integer type, of course PHP has a single integer type named integer, and of course its size is, different size will be allocated for a particular variable. So here the size of a word size, the size of a particular variable, size of an integer variable in PHP is the word size of the machine on which the program is run. Okay, now we have the double type. So double literals can include a decimal point, an exponent, or both. So here we have an example for, I have the last statement here. You can see that whenever we have value something like the 0.345 or something like 345.4, so both these cases are considered as double. So we can check this particular case. So for that purpose, you please consider this. So I let here I have a cases here. I'm going to make it as 10.50. Here x is a double. Now you can see that. Okay, now I can yeah, by using the same var dump I can display, yeah, I can display the situations. So that is var dump, it is $x. Okay, so what is actually, of course it will display this content, no doubt. Okay, now I need to I am taking another example here. So what is that? It is $y. So what is that? It is $y. And now I am going to set its value as something like 10.0. You make it, okay, 10.0. So first case is 10.50 and the second case is 10.0. So otherwise, yeah, I can make it as a 0.50. So now again I am going to display the type of that particular variable. So it is var dump. So you can see that what will be the output. Now the output is something like float and float. In both cases it is float, that is it is double actually. Floating point means it's double. So how is happening? You can see that here x is 0.5 and here y is 10.0. So whenever we have a particular point, a decimal point, then it is automatically identified as a double literal. Okay, now we have string type. So there is no character type actually. So whenever we need to represent a particular character, then that character is represented as a string of size 1. Of course, string literals are defined with either single quote or double quote. So you can see that we have example, this particular hello, a term hello within the single quote is which is equivalent to hello with a double quote. Okay, in single quote, literals embedded variables are not substituted for the names. But in double quote, string literals are embedded variables are replaced by the current value. So that is a different actually. So we can check it, no problem. So here I have a statement. You can see that. Okay, I can create a new file, no problem. So I have, yeah, it is string1. So I have string1.php. Okay, now I'm going to create the tag. You can see that. What is the tag? Yeah, of course it is a PHP tag, and then I need to close the tag. Okay, now what is my concept? So I just want to represent a particular value in single quote and in double quote, and I need to make sure that how it differently works. So now I have a statement like echo, yeah, I have a variable like dollar name. Yeah, it is dollar name is equal to, I have a name here. Yeah, of course it is my name, myself, Vinish. Okay, now I have this is the first name 1. Okay, and now I have a second case, that is name 2. So name2 is equal to, in a single represent I can represent, yeah, let it be Devi is another name. You can see that. So I have two different variables. One string is represented in a double quote and another in single quote. So now I'm going to display the type of that particular variable. So for that purpose we have the var dump. So you know the first variable is, of course, it is a num1, and now we have the second variable. So yeah, we have num2. So we have simply declared two string variables, one with a double quote and other with the value with a double quote and the other value with a single quote. So in both cases the function, what is the file name? It is string1. Okay, so now it is string1.php. so what is going to happen? Yeah, so you can see that both situations are string, both are string, you can see that. Okay, so that means we have two different methods to represent string literals. Okay, now one of the other situation is it is in terms of embedded variables. Okay, I can show you how it is different. So for that purpose, listen, I have something like yeah, a variable here, a $x is equal to 10. Okay, now I am going to embed it with a string. So that means I have a statement like yeah, echo. So value of yeah, value of $x, value of yeah, value of x is $x. So then what will be the output now? Okay, value of x is $x. What will be the output now? Let me see. It is, the function is string1. Okay, so of course it will get the output because value of x is 10. And what is happening with this $x? The $x is replaced with its value. That is, $x is here is an embedded variable. Okay, this is replaced, and this is actually this process is actually known as interpolation, because in a this is known as interpolation, where we are embedding variables. But we have used a double quote here. Okay, then now we are going to use a single quote. So then what will be happening? In double quote we have found that the variable is embedded and we got the output, but in double quote, in a single quote, what is going to happen? Okay, you can see that. So for that purpose I am going to once again execute the case. So now the value of x is $x itself, because that is the situation, that is the difference between double quote and single quote. Okay, once again you can see that. So in single quoted string literals, embedded variables are not substituted for their names, but in double quoted string, embedded variables are replaced by the current value. So that is the difference between single quote and double quote. Okay, now here we have another example which is given. You can see the same example what I have shown you. Okay, and then if a double quoted string literals includes a variable name, but if you do not want to interpolate, you can make it as by keeping a $sign. That is one situation. So already we have a double quote string, and within that you have an embedded variable. And what is the situation? We do not want to interpolate that particular variable. So it is possible by keeping a backslash. If the name of a variable that is not set to a value is embedded in a double quote literal, then of course it is replaced by an empty string, because we are using an embedded variable. That variable does not have any value which is set. So of course it is a null, it is an empty string. Okay, now we have the next type, Boolean type. You know the Boolean type, it has two variables, true and false, and both of which are the term are case insensitive. You can use true caps or small, or you can mix it, no problem. Everything works same. So if an integer expression is used in a Boolean context, it evaluates to false if it is 0. So that is the case. You can see that whenever we have an integer expression, it is used in a Boolean context, because finally we need to get a Boolean value. But the integer expression is getting a value 0. If it is 0, automatically it is converted to false, and if it is other than 0, it is converted to true. And this is same in cases of similar in cases of string also. That means if a string expression is used in Boolean context, it evaluates to false if it is either the empty string or the string which is within the double quote we have a 0. Okay, that is the case, and the only double value that is interpreted as false is exactly 0.0. So now we have arithmetic operators and expressions. You know, we have basic arithmetic operators like both addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, yeah, modulus operator, increment, and determine. All these operators are supported by PHP. And in cases of both, in cases of plus, minus, and star, if both operands are integers, then the output is also an integer, no doubt. But if any of this operand, out of two operands, if any of this operand is a tuple, and of course the output will be a tuple. And similarly, what is happening in division? Division is treated the same way, except that if integer division is done in the result is not an integer value, the result is returned as double. Okay, so if the division is correctly, that means if the division is equal, that means there is no remainder is generated, then of course the output is an integer value. But if whenever there is a remainder is generated after division, automatically the result is converted to a double value. That is difference. And all the time the operands of the modulus operators are expected to be integers. And similarly, PHP has many predefined functions that operate on numeric values. So these are some of the functions. These work on the numeric values. So these functions have different meaning. You can see that anyway. One of the examples is something like absolute value. We are taking this function is used to find the absolute value of a particular variable. So without checking the sign, it is something like, okay, so these are some of the functions anyway. So now we have string operations. So PHP include mainly two string operators. They are concatenation operator. You can see that that's a dot operator. It is just for appending two different strings. And then we have concatenating assignment operator. So what is the situation now? Here, to append the right hand operand to the value of the left hand operand and then assign the result to the left hand operand. Okay, that is actually what is meant by concatenating assignment operator. So we can work with we can show through an example. Here I have a statement here. You can see that. Yeah, this is one cases. I have two different string here. You can see that I have two different string, and the first is the name is Johnny and the second is Smith. Now I am going to use here. You can see that I am going to use yeah, concatenation operator. So yeah, dollar first dot, then I have a space here within the single quote I have used, and then again I have a concatenation operator here, and then second variable. So now name is equal to, it is something like Johnny Smith, of course. Next I have another string that is hello, and then I am using the second operator. Here you can say concatenation and assignment operator, that is dot and equal. So it is something like greet is equal to greet dot name. Okay, so greet is equal to greet dot name. Okay, now we can execute that particular code. So what is going to happen with this particular code? Okay, so this one, the file name is string.php. Okay, okay, I need to change this now. Yeah, it is string.php. So what is that? Hello Johnny and Smith. So some assignment operator has come here. Okay, anyway, so that's the situation anyway. So we got the entire output here, because in the first two steps we have an assignment, we have a concatenation operator, and then that concatenation operator we have again appended with another operator. So this particular operator, this is known as concatenating assignment operator. Okay, now PHP includes many functions that operate on strings. So there are different types of functions are there. We start with a very simple function, the length, that is to find the length of a string. So here I have an example here. You can see that I have an example here. Okay, now listen. I have a variable. I have a variable here, that is name. I am assigning a value here. You can see that. Now I need to find the length of that variable. For that purpose, you can use the function strl, string length. Okay, so string length of what is that? That is $name. Okay, so of course we need to print that actually. So echo $. So what will be the output? The function is string1. The file name is string1. What will be the output? So we have this case something like, yeah, okay, we got the output as 7. That is the length of the string. Okay, so this function is used, the strlen function is used to find the length of a string. So similarly, we have another function that is used to compare the function strcmp. So here we need to have two different parameters we need. string compare. Within the string compare function, we'll be using two different string, first string comma second string, and if both strings are identical, it will return a 0 value, and if otherwise a negative or positive number based on the difference. So that is the case. And similarly, we have some more functions which are supported by this. So you can see that so many of the functions are similar. And here we have a substring function. Anyway, I am going to show how substring function is going to work. So for that purpose, let it be something like, yeah, I have the case name. Let me take the same name. Now I am going to extract a substring of that particular. So for that purpose, I have the function here. Yeah, what is the function name? Substr. Okay, yeah, it is substr. So now within that I need to pass that particular variable. So I need to find the substring of the original variable, that is the name. Okay, so now I have this particular case, and then I need to start with the indexes. So I'm going to start with the first index. Okay, 0, and then I need to find the third parameter is actually the count. So I need 3. Okay, so this is what I am going to make it. So what will be the output? Actually, it starts with 0 and 3 different. So output should be something like bin will be the output actually. So of course now I can print that particular output of this function. So now listen, I'm going to print. So I'm expecting bin anyway. So the name of the function is code is same. Yeah, you can see that bin. So that is the structure of this substring function. Okay, you can start with any index, no problem. I am starting with the index 1 now. So and I'm taking 3 from index 1. I'm taking 3 characters. So index 1 is I. So from I3, that is ine. Okay, ine, that will be the output. So we can check it whether it works. Ine, of course it works. So that is the importance of substring function. So substring function is used to extract a particular string from a main string. And of course there are different substring functions based on the number of parameters. Here I have another parameter, I have another function. This particular function, it takes only 2 parameters, the original source string and the starting index. You can see that I have taken only the first index. So what is it? Starting from the first index, everything will be displayed. That will be the output. So you can check it now. Okay, yeah, instead of starting with the first index means index value is 0. Normally index will be starting with the 0. So here you can change it actually. Starting with the 3, every substring, every characters are extracted. Okay, so that is actually the substr function. So there are different 2 types of substr functions based on the number of arguments for that particular function. Okay, now we have scalar type conversions. So most of the other programming languages that support type conversions. So here we have 2 types of conversions, are the implicit and explicit type conversions. So implicit type conversions are called coefficients. Okay, so we have the term coefficients, and in most cases the context of an expression determines the type that is expected or required. So whenever a numeric value appears in a string context, the numeric value is converted to a string. Similarly, whenever a string value appears in numeric context, the string value is converted into a numeric value. So this is applicable in cases of a table also. Okay, so that is what's all about implicit conversion. It is based on the context. It is automatically converted. So now we have explicit conversion. So basically there are 3 different methods for explicit conversion. The first one is cast. Okay, you can use casting methods. So here this is an example. We have the variable of the value of a particular variable sum as something like 4.777. Then by using this particular statement int of, within the double quote, within the parenthesis, we need to specify the type int of sum. It will convert it to 4 integer. Okay, we can work it now. We can try with the cases, no problem. It's a very simple concept anyway. Okay, this is one situation. Yeah, originally you can see that originally x is this is the value of x, or is 10.10. So that means you can display the type of this particular variable. So what is that type of this particular variable? It is double or float anyway. Okay, no doubt. Yeah, I'm going to what is the name of the file? It is type.c. It is type.c. Please, sorry, it is type C, I think. Yeah, it is type C. So it is float. Originally, it is float. This is the value. Okay, now by using the typecast, explicit typecast, I am going to convert. Okay, now listen, I am taking output to another variable y. So $y is equal to I'm going to convert into int. Okay, it is int of, yeah, int of what is the original source variable? It is $x. Okay, so that is the situation. Now we need to find the type of this y variable. So what is the type of this y variable? Of course, we have converted it to an integer. Okay, now the output, the type should be an integer. Okay, so you can see that, yeah, we got it. So originally it is the type is float, but by using a typecast we are converted into an integer. So this is possible for any type. You can use, if it is, if we need to convert it as a string, this is also possible. You can check it, no problem at all. Okay, you can work with a string, or you can work with a double, no problem. Oh, okay, already it is double, no problem. And that is the first method. That method is known as the cast. Okay, and the second method is by using, you can see that using one of the functions like int var, double var, or str var. So we are here, int var means we are taking the integer representation of this particular variable. That is what is my int var, and double means the double value representation of this particular variable. So this is the situation. We need to use this function int var. Okay, I can use this function. So for the same code, I have $x is equal to x. Okay, now of course initially it is string, and now I am going to convert to int. Yeah, it is int var, and what is that? It is dollar. The original function is original variable, that is $x. So this is the case. Originally it is a float, that means double here, but after that, by using, I am using a function int var, so that y should be of integer type. Okay, so output should be something like, first of all, double, that is double or float, and then integer. Okay, so yeah, float and integer. So that is the situation. And of course we can convert to any other cases also. It is also possible. So for example, we can convert into string here, no problem. strval. Okay, we are converting a double value, that is the x is actually a double variable, so we are converting that double, that is float, into a string. So you can execute this particular code, so you'll be getting the output. So you can see that originally it is float, that is double, and then it is converted to string. Okay, and this value is 10.1. Okay, so that is the situation. So this is the method of use conversion, explicit type conversion, by using the functions. Okay, and then we have another method, that is the third type. It is using set type function. So the importance of this set type function is, this function, it takes two parameters. The first one is the original variable name, and the second one is the integer, or the type of the variable to which we need to convert. So you can, if it is originally, if it is let it be, yeah, if we have the example, it originally let it be 4.77, that means it is a double or float. Now we need to convert it to integer. So it is, you simply use the function set type. You need to specify the type of the name of the variable, and then the type within the integer, type as integer. You can convert into string. You can simply keep string inside this. So automatically this variable is converted to string. So that is the process. These are three different methods which is used to explicitly convert the type of a variable. Okay, so now these are, we need to find the type of a variable. Already we have a particular variable, and we need to find we need to determine its type. So for that purpose, there are two different cases are there. First one is get type function. Of course, this type function, it takes a variable as its parameter and returns string, that is the name of the type of the current value. And second is by using some type testing functions. Okay, we can start with the first version, get type function. So of course you can see that it takes one parameter and it returns as a string. Okay, now please listen. So it is I have this particular case. Now I am going to change this string anyway. So let it be a string here. Okay, now of course initially it is string not out. Now I am going to convert it by using the function get, it is get type. Okay, now I need to convert. So this is the case. So originally my variable is $x. This value is I have value as Benish. Now I'm simply displaying the type. Of course it will display a string, and then I'm taking by using a function get type, I'm trying to extract the type of that variable x. Of course, the type is a string, and that should be displayed. So let us see what is going to happen. So this is again type C. Okay, so this is the case. You can see that originally it is a string. So var_dump of $x, it will return string, that is the size of the string 7, and its value is Vinesh. And now what is the case? We are going to display the particular variable. Okay, otherwise you can use you can simply use the echo variable, no problem, it will work. Okay, so what will be the value of y? Since the type is string, of course it will be a string value. String should be displayed, so you can see that. Okay, yeah, string. So what is this string? This string, the term string, this is the output of get type function. Okay, so get type function, it takes a variable as its parameter and returns a string. So similarly, there are other functions, like they are known as type testing function. You can simply use these functions like is_end. Within that, we need to keep within the parenthesis, we need to specify the particular variable. So these are the function, it will returns a boolean value. That means if it is an integer variable we are keeping inside this parenthesis, then it will returns a value 1. Otherwise, nothing will be returned. So similarly, it is applicable for every variable. So they are known as type testing function. Okay, now we have the assignment operator. So we have similar to every language, we have the same assignment operator here, and a simple assignment, and we have compound assignment operators. You can see that. Okay, and then we have the out. So already we have found how to display a particular variable or a string by using the echo, and the same thing is possible with the print function also. Okay, so for example, here we have two examples are given. The first one is print. I have a string here, and within that I can use a tag here, break tag. Okay, now the output should be something like, okay, the first value and then second value in the new line. And for the second cases, this is interpolation actually. You can see that the result is $result. Of course, the variable will be replaced with this value. So that is the case print function, which is very similar to the echo. Okay, so anyway, with this I am going to stop this presentation. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.